Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're diving into a book that gets right to the heart of one of the biggest questions we all ask ourselves, Jonathan Haidt's The Happiness Hypothesis. It's this incredible mix of ancient philosophy and modern science, all trying to figure out a real practical way to live a better life. So let's just jump right in. So, let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like you're literally fighting yourself? You know exactly what you should do, but you just don't do it? Like, you go to a party, totally committed to your new diet, and then someone brings out a chocolate cake. One part of your brain says, nope, stay strong, but another, much louder part is already reaching for a fork. That exact feeling, that internal tug of war, is what this book is all about. To make sense of this, Haidt gives us this absolutely brilliant metaphor. He says our mind is split into two parts, a rider and an elephant. Now, the rider is our conscious, rational mind. It's the part of you that makes plans, sets goals, and thinks logically. But the elephant? Oh, the elephant is a whole different beast. That's our emotional, instinctual, automatic self. It's all gut feelings, cravings, and raw emotion. And that right there, that's what Haidt calls the divided self. It's this nonstop power struggle between our logical rider and our massive, powerful emotional elephant. So you've got the rider holding the reins, thinking it's in charge, but it's sitting on top of a 6-ton animal with a mind of its own. So who's really calling the shots? So if the rider has the plan, but the elephant has all the muscle, who actually wins? Well, the answer might not be what you think. Turns out the philosopher David Hume kind of nailed this centuries ago. Haidt argues that he was spot on. Our reason, our rider, often acts less like a commander and more like a press secretary for the elephant. The elephant has an emotional reaction first. It gets scared, it gets excited, it wants the cake, and then the writer's job is to spin a logical-sounding story to justify whatever the elephant already decided to do. Okay, so we get it. The elephant is strong. But why? Why does our emotional side seem to win out so often? Well, it turns out our brains are kind of hardwired with a few quirks that give the elephant the home field advantage. First off, there's this wild thing called the adaptation principle. We humans are just incredibly good at getting used to stuff. Seriously, think about it. Studies show that a year after winning the lottery, people are often no happier than they were before. We all have this kind of built-in happiness set point, and big life events, good or bad, only knock us off it for a little while before we drift right back. And that leads to the next huge idea. The progress principle. Shakespeare totally got it. We get way more joy and satisfaction from making progress toward a goal than we do from actually achieving it. You know, if you're training for a marathon, the real buzz comes from hitting a new distance, from that feeling of getting stronger week by week. Crossing the finish line is awesome, sure, but the deep, lasting joy, that was all in the journey. So, if our happiness is always adapting and it's found in the process, then what actually makes it up? Haidt boils it down to this surprisingly simple formula. H equals S plus C plus V. I know, it looks like a high school algebra problem, but stick with me. Let's break down what these letters actually mean. Okay, let's unpack this. S is your biological set point. This is basically your genetic predisposition for happiness. It's the baseline you're born with. And yeah, it's a pretty big slice of the pie. But look at the other parts, because this is where we have all the power. C stands for your life conditions. These are things you can change, like getting rid of a miserable commute or investing in your friendships. And V is for voluntary activities, the conscious things you choose to do, like starting a new hobby, meditating, or volunteering. The bottom line? A huge chunk of our happiness is not fixed. It's something we can build. All right, so we know the elephant is a powerhouse, and we know what the ingredients for happiness are. But how do we actually put that knowledge into practice? Well, here's the secret. The goal isn't to wrestle the elephant into submission. It's to become a better, smarter trainer. It's all about guiding it. Haidt lays out 3 really effective ways to gently guide that inner elephant. First, there's meditation. It's like teaching the elephant to just chill out, to calm down and stop stampeding at every little thing. Second, there's cognitive therapy. Think of this as hiring a personal coach for your rider, teaching it how to challenge the elephant's anxious thoughts and reframe them. And third, there are medications like Prozac, which work on a chemical level to change your brain's baseline, basically making the elephant less skittish and easier for the rider to work with. Now we're getting to what might be the most profound insight in the entire book. Haidt argues that for centuries we've been looking for happiness in completely the wrong places. We tend to think of it as a goal to achieve or something to find deep inside ourselves.
But he says that's not it at all. Real, lasting happiness, it comes from between.
So what on earth does that mean, from between? It means happiness isn't a thing, it's a relationship. It emerges when you get the connections in your life right. It's found in the space between you and other people, through love, friendship, and community. It's found between you and your work, when what you do feels meaningful, like a calling. And it's found between you and something larger than yourself, a purpose or a belief that gives your life meaning. So at the end of the day, this whole pursuit of happiness isn't some inward-looking journey to find yourself. It's actually an outward-looking one. It's about building a life, creating the right environment for those vital connections to grow. Just like a plant needs good soil and sunlight to flourish, we need love, engagement, and purpose to do the same. It's up to us to create those conditions. So, the final thought to leave you with is this. Understanding this dynamic, this dance between your rational rider and your emotional elephant, it gives you a map. It gives you power. You can't just force the elephant down a road it doesn't want to take, but you can be a much wiser, more skillful guide. Your rider is listening right now. The only question left is, where are you going to lead?